Hey, this is Ian for Group Talk Summary for June 21st. Today we were talking about two things that you need every day, and we had some very interesting answers, some very revealing answers, as we talked about during Group Talk. Answers such as udon and internet, which are both interesting. And of course, as always, we learned some new vocabulary, and I've written some down. The first one is fatigue, which is basically just getting tired from doing some kind of work, from doing the same thing. So for example, if you're driving, you can say, I'm fatigued from driving so long. We need to stop and rest. It's dangerous. Or slow down, you'll get fatigued. So fatigue is physical exhaustion, being physically tired. Another word we learned is clingy, which is usually used to describe a person who, well, I gave you a pretty clear image during group talk, so here's some example sentences. So, my girlfriend is too clingy. She texts me every hour to see where I am. Or, don't be so clingy. Just talk to him tomorrow. And then we learned another word, which we actually already learned once before, but this time it has a different meaning, which is hook up. And this time it means like to connect something. So for example, after I get my new speakers hooked up, I'm going to listen to Bob Marley. Or, I need help hooking up my router. I don't know anything about computers. And then notice a couple mistakes today, and it's kind of interesting because they both involved 3 years. So the first one is, somebody said, after I married 3 years, and it should be 3 years after I married, or 3 years after I got married. Both are okay. And the second mistake was, I spent there 3 years, which should be, I spent 3 years there. So just remember those phrases and just repeat the pattern in your mind. 3 years after I got married, and I spent 3 years there. And besides that, as always, very interesting conversations. I really appreciate it every time. So thank you for coming to Group Talk, and I'll see you at the next one. Good night.